Yeah.
Is the Christmas jumper thing just a bit overdone? Is it?
Well,
Is this a Christmas thing?
what this
Yeah.
year?
Oh,
Is this a Christmas?
And yes, the Christmas jumper thing is overdone.
it is much overdone.
Corporations have
Yeah.
eaten it now,
Yeah.
and it's gone past the twee. Oh, I've got a funny Christmas jumper to mass market shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's lost its charm.
A bit of an up
Much like this
price.
podcast.
Mark up in price, and a lot of people wearing them. But do
Yeah.
they get a bit too
Well,
silly?
I wore
Is anything-
this, right, in October once, and someone was like, why are you wearing a Christmas jumper? I'm like, nothing about this is a Christmas jumper. You know, there's no... But I was saying
It's
that
a winter jumper.
it's a
for
winter
sure.
jumper, for sure.
I saw one the other day that was a normal Christmas jumper, but then it had like what looked like the middle cut out. And it had Riley Reid's breasts underneath.
Oh, lovely. Oh, what a treat.
And that was for men.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
This is something I told Elfie about when I first met her, about how much of a pikey you are. I think that's the correct terminology to use.
Yeah.
This is Drum and Drummer with a little difference because there's four of us in the same room.
Yep.
We are welcoming back
What's that?
Oh.
That's
Josh Rowe.
Josh Rowe.
Row your boat all the way to the shore.
Oh, I love that.
And we have
Yeah.
a good friend. He's been mentioned many times. It's his first appearance on the podcast.
It is.
It's Elliott Joseph.
Let me just say it's a pleasure to be here. It's really, really nice. That's great. I've been stoked for this for ages.
Yeah.
We wanted to have you on because you know we both drummed for you.
Mm.
Yeah.
We've both been your little drummer
Yeah.
boys.
Or have I sang for you?
That way round.
That way
Definitely
round.
that way round. Yeah. And we thought we'd like to get you on, and then George had the idea.
My only
Let's just-
idea for this pod so far,
Yeah, because I am the driving
he
force.
does
the
do
ideas, man.
the edit,
Merch.
merch.
The good questions.
Yeah, the good questions. Yeah, every time we have a guest on, anytime Ben opens his mouth, it's a great question.
At the time George does.
Yeah,
It's,
they
It's,
go,
the
what?
eyes roll back in the head.
Yeah,
not this fucking question again.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't care about your Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop talking about it. We've all ran.
You just did it for a bit longer. And you took a dip in the ocean
Basically, in our most recent interview, I feel bad now because I annihilated Ben's thing of mental health. He was saying, what I do when I don't play drums is I love Lego, you know? And the guy was like, that's good. I went, I did an Iron Man, and I feel like that might have put the Lego...
Pissed on the Lego thing.
Pissed on the
isn't it?
Lego thing, you know what I
But
mean?
I'd prefer Lego than doing it right.
Warmer,
Warmer.
What if Ben made a Lego Iron Man?
Yeah.
which I have done.
There you go. So
Oh, several.
both.
How many pieces was it?
Multifaceted.
A
A few.
couple hundred or something.
Oh,
Just a little one.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't stretched for the new Hulkbuster. It's too much money.
That is an endeavour, then. That would be great.
Too much
That's
money.
But is it an investment? If you buy two, keep one in the packaging for in years to come when it's worth.
Well, even better than that, you can take them apart and put them back in the box, can't you?
Can you? But I thought
Well,
if they're
it's
unopened, was this like a old school comic theory that if you keep them in the packaging?
No, like I'd say more often than not, you can retain a lot of value. Incredibly rare that you can then make a profit.
Yeah.
But it's 500 quid. That's a lot of money to drop $1,000.
It is.
You know.
Yeah.
And
When
you're thinking
I got
it is so worth
electricity
it.
to pay for and
Yeah.
no gigs.
That time of year.
The barren months.
See, me personally, I'm only just kind of experiencing this because I haven't been doing the function work as long as you guys. So, but you do notice it,
The harsh winters.
and also you just miss gigging because it's such a passion-filled thing to do, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'd certainly miss
Speaking
it.
to the wrong crowd.
I
there,
miss
think.
it. I miss it, Elliot, on your side.
Oh, yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's definitely an outlet of that energy, and yeah, you're earning as well, which is great. And you certainly miss that, of course, especially as energy prices go up and earning goes down.
The energy you're
We've all
exuding.
taken pay cuts, basically, in the grand scheme of things.
Speaking of gigs, last time I saw you, George, we had a gig together.
We did.
Yeah.
The
Well,
joiners.
I mean, was I there?
You turned up.
I mean,
at
we were
6.
all there. We were all
Well,
there.
Yeah.
We were all in a room
Wow.
together.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
So
But just going back to it, this was George's idea. Let's have an in-person Christmas special. So this is the Christmas special.
Well, I just thought it'd be nice to do a podcast where we're all in a room, like a normal podcast, because you lose something on Zoom, I think. Not all the time, but there's that little
Laggy.
bit. There's that little, where me and Ben will be like, are you going to talk or should I talk? Whereas if we're all in here at the same time.
Do you ever get a bit of a delay with Wi-Fi?
The other
I
day.
always find this, because you've got to bounce off each other. Sorry.
Yeah, my first drum teacher, his just went fucking...
Pete Tong. That's not your drum teacher. It went Pete Tong.
2 minutes, it just went. He was trying to talk and it was like, oh, have I gone? I've got to say it again, have I?
Yeah.
You know, right.
I really liked that episode, though. That was great.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I really liked your post-joiners gig episode as well. That was great, too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so we were all at the joiners to watch
Jorge.
Didn't turn up for me though, did you?
well
Thought you didn't know I was there.
England game.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I turned up to have a drink with you at the bar. That was
After
lovely.
we played, that's
Yeah,
fine.
sorry, bro.
I bought you both a drink.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
After not watching my
You
band.
played the gig that none of us saw. Bought us a drink and then you went home.
I stuck around for a couple of songs.
Yeah, I was going to say, you
couple.
left during my set.
Three.
Hey, they were good 3 songs, though.
And I don't blame you for leaving because the kick drum was too loud.
Kick shit, mate. I think we
I'm
said
on.
that. So, yeah, kick shit.
Come on, love, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will second what you said in that episode, though. I've gigged with you many times, and I've never seen you hit the drums that hard.
Well,
Big time.
It was so hot. Wait,
Yeah.
what? that was big.
Also, thank you. I couldn't hear what you said. Apparently, after every song, not every song, but you're like, that was a great song.
Oh yeah, because they were.
Yeah,
they were cool, man.
Thank
And
you.
it was just as the crowd murmur died down, I know you meant it like
No, he meant it to be awkward. And
no, but you meant the words.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it sounded
timing.
fucking sarcastic.
that was lovely, George.
Very talented band.
That was a really good song.
Yeah.
In the silence.
I wanted to
I
melt
didn't mean
into
it.
a puddle.
Yeah.
Love you, George. That was great.
Yeah.
I think we were the 3 tallest people
Well, I was
there
going to
as well,
say, yeah.
in the middle of the crowd. So
I love that.
Anytime you did say it, there was just our 3
I was
heads.
biting into my plastic
Yeah.
mug. with a
You
cup.
know, what reminded me of, kind of, was you know that scene in Ted 2?
I have seen
We're getting
that
onto
film,
films
yeah.
again. George
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah,
seen
no,
any.
I've seen this one. We're
Yeah,
good.
there's this moment in Ted 2. I won't lie. I haven't
Is Michael
I
Caine in it?
Michael Caine.
Lamborghini.
Master Wayne. Anyway, like there's this moment in Ted 2 where they're at a stand-up, like a comedy club, and they're doing a comedy and they're trying to do like a improv.
Oh, is this the
round,
improv bit? Yeah.
and they're like shouting out stuff on the back, but really awkward suggestions.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Anyone who hasn't seen it, you must go see it.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, no, it just reminded me because we were standing right in the middle of the joiners.
Yeah, you
watching
went straight
play.
into the middle. Like I was all about the sides.
I just
baby.
feel like if you're going to soak up all the atmosphere,
Yeah.
you know, you
My-
got to.
My experience of that gig was it made me feel incredibly old but young at the same time.
Yeah,
because-
you had a different experience to me.
Yeah, so you had a decent, headline in the Joiners with a local. She's like from Southampton, right, as well.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
home show for her, and you very kindly got us on the bill. We'd played with Wren once before at the church, in
Yeah.
Gosport,
At the
and,
church.
so yeah, I don't think she remembered that.
Mm.
No.
No.
And also,
It's so good to
I'll
see
be
you guys.
honest,
so arrogant now.
Yeah.
I almost feel like you got put on because she'd forgot to put you
Yeah.
on, and she went because I was like, "What about villains? How do you
Get
pronounce
onto that later.
it? And she was like, "Oh yeah." So you went on. So
Well, yeah.
You
So we were
barely
told.
had a line
so
check.
we were told get there for 6:30 for sound check.
Yeah.
So 6:25 because
Professional.
I was
Yeah.
stuff was in by that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And then-
Sometimes an amateur was such a professional.
Yeah, I walk in the room
Saying it.
and I so I was under the impression that you guys would have been sound checking about 4. Walked in the room at 6:30,
Yeah.
and you were still sound checking.
Yeah, we started
And I
at
thought, well,
4.
mine's in 15 minutes, and there's sort of 3 other bands.
Yeah.
Not getting one. So dumped all the stuff in, waited her out. It was freezing as well.
Yeah.
And all our mums had come because we hadn't, hadn't played for a long time, and the manager kicked the mums out because they said they can't be in here. And they're like, where are they going to go, mate?
Yeah.
They can't be here. But we're playing in a bit.
It's St Mary's on a Friday night.
We did go to a pub down the road, which was, oh my God, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. What kind of pub was it?
In the end, we didn't get a sound. Yeah, we got on for. We were supposed to play at 7:50, and we got on for sound check at 7:45. They delayed the opening of the doors by 15 minutes, which was only our mums.
Yeah.
No one else. No one else came to see.
So many gigs like
So
that.
then 5 minutes, and that was awful. The sound check, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't know what amp was being mic'd up, and then I couldn't hear a thing. And then
Well,
we played
no,
to
I
the
know what you
mums.
mean about-
and you and Elfie.
Yeah.
And then these two turned up.
Yeah. And even then, we were sort of at the back, you know.
I heard it was a great set. I was talking to your mum.
Stay away from my
Right, so I was going to say,
It's dangerous.
was your
We'll
auntie
get onto that
there
later as well. Oh, well, I saw my dad last night, and I said I was coming today, and we were talking, and I said I was going on with Elliott. I said, "Who's the singer at our wedding?" And he said, "Is that the one who everyone wanted to fuck?"
Yeah.
And then my dad said,
Everyone.
"To be fair, son, I'd fuck him." so if everything goes wrong for you, Daddy's up for it.
Oh, thank goodness. I was hoping so.
Yes,
Yeah.
honestly, long line of people at my wedding who wanted to fuck. One of them being my wife, I think.
Yeah.
Just before. Sorry to go off tangent, but just before the
stay on
wedding,
this tangent.
because she was kind of like, "You sort the band out, you speak to George and stuff." So George said, "Yeah, I sort it. No, I put it together." And then I said, "Oh yeah, Elliott's singing. Remember Elliott? We met him at George's birthday a few years ago." And then like that week, I went into her. That she works from home. Went into her office, and she like sort of looked like she was panicking a bit. And I realised that she had a tab up, and it was your Instagram page.
No,
Just flicking through pictures of you in your little speedos. So he's quite good looking, isn't he? Yeah, he is.
That's very kind.
But wasn't that research for her bridesmaids?
Essentially.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to know.
Oh, yeah, that's what she said.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then my auntie again. I was with her last night, and she. It was similar to your moment at the Joiners. Just as the song finished, she went, "Christ, I do the singer." Inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But true.
Just so thoughtful. That's very kind.
So yeah, long line of my family that would like to to have sex with you, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, so it's always nice to hear, isn't it? You know, I probably won't be able to oblige them all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Not any,
Got a busy
actually,
week.
but
It's Christmas.
I've
you
got
know.
work. I've
Yeah.
got a gig tomorrow, you know.
So
But hey,
I've got to be up early, so
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can just rattle through the in-laws
Yeah.
quick.
Get Dad out of the
Oh,
way early. I
God.
would.
Yeah.
I will say that gig was awesome. That was lovely.
You see, even then it sounds fake, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was
No,
lovely.
it was a great
Really-
gig. Genuinely, could we? Oh, we got to talk about the venue in a minute as well.
Oh,
Not the
yeah,
joint. Not the joint.
yeah.
This is you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about my
we're
wedding.
talking about your
Ah,
wedding.
right,
Yeah, lovely gig.
Yes.
We all had a good time.
They've been in the news.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the venue, not your wedding.
Yeah.
Although arguably it should have been in the news. It's a
Yeah,
very
well,
notable occasion.
I'm just wondering if your wedding's null and void now.
Well, we've wanted the same, but George obviously. Oh my God, look at this! Like, yeah, you're the 50th person to send that to me
Yeah.
last week. Everyone's like, "Does this mean you're not married?" I don't know.
she's looking at other men on Instagram. That's enough.
Even the registrar didn't have a license.
Yeah. Well, that's the. Yeah. That's,
Should we explain what this
Yes.
is?
So there's a venue on the south coast in Hayling Island
Yeah.
called Tornbury Woods.
Yeah, Tornbury Woods. Yeah.
I played there several times.
Mm.
Probably a lot of times over the years.
Yeah. It's where we first set the Pack Down 6-minute record.
It's got a weird PA
that in
setup,
there.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
To
weird
get
PA
technically
setup.
music.
It's called a sound ceiling.
It's got
Yeah,
it's speakers.
Speakers in the ceiling. It's basically
weird.
they can't make too much noise. It's rubbish.
Mm.
Yeah, we played there a lot, and yeah, you
Got
got
married
married there recently. George and Elliott performed.
Yep.
Nice little tie-ins there. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Yep.
There's a lot of glue joining us for gentlemen together. And then it cropped up in the news that wedding venue, it's kind of like an outdoorsy venue with some wood shit.
So what-
and
Yeah, when we first went to view it, I think the guy who runs the venue, it used to be his family's land or something. Or it still might be. They sold off part of it to a farm. And then he just decided, oh yeah, I could make it into a wedding venue.
cash in.
Yeah.
Well, because it's sort of beyond the golf course. Because I used to go to that golf course as a kid, my granddad.
Right,
And
Nick
it's-
Faldo.
What?
Used to go to the
It's an old golfer.
Yeah. I was an old soul, you know. I used to play every week. It's great.
Did you? Yeah. I never knew this about you.
Yeah, I wasn't very good. Well, I think I got kind of accidentally quite good, like we did with darts, you know?
Sure.
Bombing it down the fairway, bitches.
Yeah, exactly. But it's sort of beyond the golf course, and the golf course itself is
You
kind
can't
of big.
drive through a farm.
Everyone gets lost when they get there. Everyone was like, it was hard to get here.
Yeah. But people are like that with anything.
Gave you instructions, detailed instructions. There's a sign that says wedding.
Yeah.
But we all know this from many wedding venues around the country.
Most people only go there once.
But to circle back to your point, it has received some local press.
Because it turned out.
So we don't want to get too technical because this could be a legal matter, but
one of many we've been discussing in this podcast.
But essentially, they haven't had planning permission to operate as a wedding venue for the last 10 years, which probably means all the gigs you've played there.
Yeah.
So
countless
definitely
Taylor bands
I've
played
done
there.
as far as we know, I mean, I'd like to think the registrars would have told us if our wedding didn't count. Yeah. But as far as we know, still married.
How would it not count, though? Is that like a joke you're doing? Or would it actually not? God looking down.
God, yeah.
He hasn't blessed it as a wedding venue.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't like the sound system.
No, exactly.
Neither God nor the government did.
No. So, it's... George very kindly sent through the article that several other people had sent.
And there was another one. There was another. It's
a bit of hot water up there, isn't it?
Like there were two separate issues.
Really?
I think one of the other issues was some. Oh God, this is boring, isn't it? But but there was some local wildlife group that were like, it should be land that we can get. Yeah, so something like that. Something like a bit being a wildlife reserve. I don't know. So
the interesting thing is, like, would they plead ignorance if they've been doing it for 10 years? Probably not, right? And there's a reason they had a sound ceiling, isn't it?
10 years. Yeah, well, that's why they got the sound ceiling.
Keep it all low key.
They want to keep it all hush, hush.
And even the entrance, though, you're driving through a shanty town, you know, like some farmyard with old equipment, you know, stuff that guests could hurt themselves on.
Yeah, but I guess it's an example of like, do you remember that story? I don't even know if it's true, but it's a good one.
I will say, sorry, just quickly on that note, it was a lovely venue though. For your wedding, looked gorgeous. It was a great
nice,
place.
Yeah.
Like I say, you drive through a shanty town to get there. You drive through a farmyard, but once you're at the venue, I mean, it's gorgeous. They've got a heck of a setup.
Yeah, it was illegal, but
it's a heck of an illegal setup.
Well, sometimes the beautiful things are.
Yeah, they're forbidden fruits.
Yeah.
I'll retract that. Don't say that. Or don't follow up with that facial expression.
That is a shame.
A great wedding. It was.
Yeah,
lovely.
Great food.
George loved the food.
And this is something I told Elfie about when I first met her, about how much of a pikey you are. That's the correct terminology to use.
Yeah.
And again, this touches on another gig.
Wait, this hat I found by a bin.
This morning you said, look at this hat, I found it in a bin.
Hey, he's an opportunist.
By a bin.
Little cheese-eating bin mongrel.
There's the episode title.
Cheese-eating bin mongrel.
Merry Christmas. Cheese-eating bin mongrel.
What's not festive about that?
Do you want to give some examples of my pikiness?
So, for instance, last time, prior to the joiners, last time I saw you was at we were both coming back from gigs.
I
know you talked about this in the pod before, but that was a perfect example of George's pikiness, walking away with a plate of cheese.
Being old
about a kilogram of cheese, which he still blames on me. He said, Josh put it on my plate, but you didn't have to take the plate, did you? Didn't have to eat it.
He's walking out, everyone's like, crikey. He's like, I'm taking it for the road.
There's also been another gig with an episode title of I took 10 packets of crisps.
Well, I remember that gig.
But that wasn't even the one. The pikiness catchphrase started from Key West.
Well, and I told Elfie about this, and I'm almost ashamed to talk about it, but he stole from the church. And let that one settle for a second.
The men and women of Christ.
So this was the first time George played with Wren, and we also happened to play that night.
Yeah.
And so this is at Key West Studios in Gosport, and so it's still a functional church, and the rectory, which is a lovely word, just out the back where the nuns hang out.
It's very close to
rectum.
Funnily enough,
I was going to say observatory.
In fact, all the words seminary, semen, rectum.
I think there's a theme going
very
on with the
biblical
church.
words. Yeah, kids.
Oh God. Loud.
So anyway, the rectory out the back where the nuns hang out, or none, probably one. There's like a lovely sort of a Sainsbury's bag for life in there, full of food. And this could have been like, she might be sleeping in there. We don't know.
Yeah.
Tea bags, crisps.
Food bank.
Sweets.
Can I say,
Milk
I assumed,
food bank.
Donation for a food bank.
yeah,
'Cause there's
genuinely
a lot
could
of
have
people
been.
struggling out there, George.
I assumed it was for the bands. That's all
I
I'll say.
don't think you did. Who leaves a bag of tea bags for bands? Took the
thank
whole
goodness.
box.
What a rider.
Milk. In need of that.
That's so kind.
So he just helped himself through the nuns' rectory.
They got a weekly shop for the rider.
So this is
Yeah.
where I first noticed George's pikeyism.
I do remember the 10 packets of crisps
Fuck,
gig
yeah.
as well. That was good. That was
Yeah.
in some like in a shell of a barn. Do you remember how cold it was at that?
but
you
I think-
needed those crisps.
Well, I don't know if I did. I think it's almost more a kind of like enjoyment of see how much I can take without getting.
It's the crime element. He
It
gets
is.
off
Yeah, the
with it.
secret ingredient is crime.
It's crime, yeah.
Exactly.
To be fair, like the crisps were right. You know what wasn't all right at that gig? The food.
Oh, I thought I'd done something else.
Your drumming was
Yeah.
bloody awful.
Yeah,
no,
well.
it was the worst barbecue.
Oh,
Worst.
yeah. Well, right.
Dry.
Okay, here's a topic we
man.
can all get involved
Oh,
in.
go on then.
I always take food to a gig because
This is a weird one.
I'm
glad you brought this up because you steal food but also bring it and then refuse to eat the cooked food. I don't get it.
so I take food to
There's
a
a lot
gig.
of food movement when you're involved.
Just eat
I'm going to
what they
bring
give you.
some,
That's
but
it.
they're going to make me some, and I might take some.
I won't eat that.
Well, my thing is, I never like to eat immediately before I go on, and a lot of the time, they're like, "Okay, food's ready, guys," and you're on in 10. So I'm like, "Well, I don't want to eat now," and I'm always amazed that people can eat a full meal and then play. So I'm like, "Well, I'll bring my own snacks," but
Which is normally 6 Warburton's tea cakes or something like that. And he'll just eat them dry out the packet.
Simple.
It's not a snack.
But George would be like, when he worked at the studio, I'm just going to Morrison's to get some dinner, and he'd come back with just 6 loaves, like 6 buns.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that? He stayed
then,
at my
like-
house the night before that gig. He just brought bread. You're like, I brought some food. Bread.
I know. Yeah,
Helped himself to my cheese. There it is.
Everything's yellow, crisp,
Such
red.
a beige boy.
Yeah.
Little beige bald boy.
It's because he's what he's used to seeing when he goes bin diving. That's all that's left. You didn't go into Morrison's, you went round the back.
I need to pay for it inside. It's free round the back. Oh, love that. So,
I
yeah,
don't even
no,
know where I
drumming.
was going with this.
Well, I just don't get, you bring food. Normally
I
you've
do.
got your little Vans rucksack and it's full of tea cakes and shit like that. Or like Rivita.
His rucksack that he stole.
Yeah, he's probably found that in a skip as well. And then he brings his Rivita and fucking tea cakes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
His massive 14 gallon thing of water, whatever that is.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that I never see you eat all this stuff.
Yeah, and then that's
speak
the
to him
other
about
thing. So then they'll
Where did
go,
you put
right, we've
it?
prepared a lovely hot meal for you. Nah, don't want
No,
that.
but it's-
No, thanks,
no, but
mate. I'm all right.
It's
But
ne-
if there's anything that's pickable, like picky
No.
food,
But that's right. I never go like, okay, I won't have the hot meal, but I will have my own tea cakes because that would be mental. But it's usually, it's the picky food is after the gig. It's like after the gig, all bets are off. Do you know what I mean?
well, that Isle of Wight one was the perfect example because
Yeah.
there was too much cheese.
yeah.
And it saw you through that journey home
Well,
on a cold ferry.
I want to address that night, I think, because I was in a cheese frenzy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd eaten too much cheese.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I've got a problem.
No,
Yeah.
it was wild.
As Neil said, I was dressed like Crocodile Dundee as well. I had the sort of beige sort of hunting shirt on. Don't know what that
Yes.
was. Mm.
Yeah.
And now
I
you've
nearly
got
wore
the-
that today.
Just come from the zoo.
Yeah. I looked
Call that a
mental.
knife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was high on a cocktail of cheese and life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Kicking.
and we'd
On a
you
ferry.
tried to make
That's
me
what the Isle of Wight does to you.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
It's their slogan.
Yeah.
High on a cocktail of cheese and life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come to the
and
Isle of
then-
Wight.
I tried to make you perform.
Just tried to make me perform.
On
It
a
didn't
no,
land.
not the gig. Oh, yeah, on the ferry, a
And-
comedy bit.
And we just lost it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then there's that beautiful picture which you put up of Sam just asleep in the corner, which I love.
Yeah.
He's
Just
like,
questioning
fuck-
everything.
Fuck
Yeah.
this. What am I doing with my life?
Yeah. That was where we came to
There's a
life.
reason I say no to gigs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is it.
This is the
This is it.
What have I done? And then we bumped into Kasabian.
That
High
was
on
a different
cheese,
gig.
dressed
That's cool.
Was it?
Yeah, that was when we were on our own.
I don't think it was.
It was.
No, we were there with Kasabian.
Yeah, because it was
Really?
it was the same weekend as the Isle of Wight festival.
Oh yeah,
we were sat in the car park, freezing cold.
Sorry,
dressed as
yeah, it was.
Crocodile Dundee. There was a huge tour bus.
Yeah.
It was when we went back to our
I was going to say
cars.
it was just it was us on our
You
own.
realised.
Yeah, Kasabian just walked past the van.
Yeah.
I love that. In the
Yeah.
tour bus, you walk
Yeah.
back.
Surge,
to
just
your
cheese.
train.
Have some,
Lads.
have some
Thankfully,
Stilton
he had a
Surge.
big old plate of crackers.
Yeah, yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Worlds collide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Sorry, that felt like a good place to do a break.
And
So I was
apparently he had a
like,
big plate of crackers.
We'll see you after the break.
yeah. I keep having them in my head. I'm like, that's a good place to have a break. I can't think that it's a normal conversation anymore.
Oh, do you generally like take breaks? And
So
then you
we know-
actually stop for a sec.
We did in the early days.
I like to think. You know your what's it your intro? Dun, 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 that one.
Yeah.
I like
Quite
to
like
think that one of you is actually sitting in the opposing room, and Ben's
do
like,
it live.
that's a
Well,
good
it is
take.
me playing it.
So yeah, well, to be fair,
It is me
and
drumming
he's like,
that.
run to the other room, dun, dun, dun,
A bit
dun, dun, dun,
trivia.
dun, and then you come back in. Welcome back.
Yeah. It would be.
Oh,
That'd be quite a lot of work,
That
especially
would.
to get it the same every time.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he'd do it.
Drum
He'd
machine.
fucking do it.
Yeah. Got it written out chart.
I'd double.
Every time. Just the chart.
Yeah.
Just the chart.
How you go? Go on.
I'm going to move on to you, Elliott Joseph.
Oh, lad.
Oh yeah.
As I said, we play together in Victoriana,
We do.
and George has played with you in Victoriana, but also with your original music.
That's fine. He has.
And how did that happen?
Well, let me tell you
And
something.
do you regret it?
No, of course I
Every
don't.
waking
No, I love it. It's actually one of a great, really cool thing that happened. So back when I was working
Back when
on,
orgies were safe before COVID.
This is true. What a time that was. So a few years back, I was working on my first EP. Kind of written it and
Here?
arranged it. Yeah, recorded it here.
Yeah.
I
I
was-
remember
I was
when
like,
you got in touch. I
Dude,
remember,
that
yeah.
phone call.
Yeah.
I remember ringing you up and hearing your voice over the phone and thinking, I wonder what he looks like. But I'm pretty sure I'd seen you before, maybe. Either way, we hadn't met.
What did you
in
think he
person.
looked like?
Yeah,
from his
describe
voice.
what you thought he looked like. I'd like to hear that.
It's closing
In my
his
head,
eyes.
I'm having trouble differentiating what I know you look like now because
Yeah.
I'm looking right at you.
Yeah.
With
That's
you know,
good.
I can't really think what I used to. I would have thought something, a man of your caliber, you know, a man of good stock
Yeah.
with a good
Yeah.
beard.
Chicken stock.
Yeah.
Mm.
Chicken.
So we've got caliber and stock from
Anyway,
that description.
yeah. So
That'd be the worst police description ever. How would you describe
he's a
it?
man of good stock.
Yeah. Well,
He smelt of Oxo.
Anyway, so I was recording the first EP here, and I had another drummer drumming on it, another drummer drumming on the record, and it's the first time recording here. I hadn't met Neil before. My brother's band, so my brother Rio used to be in a band called Dutch Criminal Record, who are still going. To be fair, shout out to them. Very good indie electronic band. I don't know how you.
Yeah.
They're a bit of an eclectic mix, aren't they?
I know a little bit of surfy indie.
Yeah,
that's
that's
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Surf
Anyway.
rock.
So they'd recorded
Pop a bit
here.
of tremolo.
There's
There's your
many
sound.
effects pedal.
Next.
High up the neck, are we?
Yeah, they love it.
Frets 1 to 8. I don't think so.
Nothing below fret
Oh,
8.
10 and 12, baby.
Yeah.
Sort of the Drake meme for frets. 1 to 8.
Yeah.
9 to 17.
So basically, they'd recorded here before, and I was looking at different studios. I was looking at one up in London that I'd previously recorded that. And then Rio was like, why are you going up to London to record this? I was like, well, it's a good studio, I know the producer. And then he said, why don't you go down to old Blacksmith's down the road? So I got in touch, spoke to Ben, lovely conversation on the phone. You said, I'm going to pass you through to Neil. He'll probably be producing this because it's his kind of style of music.
I don't want nothing to do with it.
None of that folk rock.
Yeah.
It's got an acoustic guitar, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so you passed me through to Neil, and then I remember speaking to him.
Hi, this is Neil.
What did you imagine he looked like? Neil was invited to be here today.
Yeah.
We had to switch the date around because of busy lives, busy time of year. And Neil fell victim
Bottle's
to...
job.
He is missed.
He is missed, so Neil, good on you.
And wherever you are listening to this, just
All
know
the
that you're
best.
here with us. Yeah?
Yeah.
In mind, body, and spirit. No, not in body. In mind and spirit. He's here. Anyway.
And
so
stock.
And stock. And another man of good stock.
Yeah.
You know. He's, yeah. Anyway. So we, end up recording that first EP here. Neil produced it and mixed it. You mastered it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Thank you again for that. You did
You're
a
very
lovely,
welcome.
lovely, lovely job.
Well, what's lovely about you, Elliot, is you've worked here several times now with Neil and me, and you've gifted us the CD, like in a frame.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lovely thank you note.
I know where you're going with this.
And
I
it's
already know.
It's lovely.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey,
Very much appreciated.
It's funny, like when you
I
take.
didn't know where you were
It's
going
not on the
with this.
wall anywhere. I just noticed.
It's not in here, no.
Yeah.
It's in the office.
I
It's
thought
not
you
in
were,
the new studios in the office. To be fair, you just putting that up is a real kind of compliment. So, man, the thing is, it's crazy. When you realise just how much work goes into the process of producing, not just like the mixing, like the post recording stuff, and the mastering and everything, but also the actual kind of collaboration of minds on the days of recording. And it can be quite intense. And, after 4 or 5 days of recording and you kind of EP or album, whatever, you guys know, like, it must be a kind of element of cabin fever, and it's, you're together a lot, but like it's very easy from a performer or like, recording artist perspective to be quite complacent about just how much work goes into, the record from like the control panel side. And that's kind of why one of the reasons I love recording here is because of that is the old Blacksmith Studios. For everyone listening, is because of like the amount of work you guys put in. And it just means a lot. And those records like wouldn't have come out half as well as they did if it wasn't for you guys working on them. Obviously, I like to think the songwriting is up to the scratch, and the musicianship, but ultimately translating it into a recorded medium is like hard work, and it takes very skilled people to do it.
Don't worry about it. No worries.
At the end of recording and receiving those masters back, which you think, wow, they sound incredible, even better than I imagined. It's just a little gift, and giving you guys a copy of the record itself and just something to say thank you is personally important to me. And when we do another record, which is the plan, although it's a little while in the making, but that's just because life happens. When I do a new one, it'll be just the exact same thing. A lot of the credit should go to the people who kind of worked on it, played on it, recorded it, And Benno, George ended up drumming on the second EP of mine.
I was sat in.
Wormed his way in, no doubt.
Huh?
Yeah,
Wormed your way into
well,
something
I
else.
did.
This is a great story.
Trying to worm your way into
Yeah.
other people's records.
Oh, every band.
Well, I sat in on the first one.
Sack off the old guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said, literally, because it was like your first session. That was when there was a brief window of about 4 hours where I thought about being an audio engineer, a producer, whatever.
Couldn't cut it.
Well, no, genuinely, it was like I thought I don't like this enough to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the editing side of it.
Yeah, I think I was like, so this is how you cut in Pro Tools. You went, nah.
That's
Be a
not for
drummer,
me.
mate.
Yeah, exactly. But that was back when I was working here and I used to sit in on sessions, and I sat in on your session, and I literally just sat there. That's what I was going to mention. I got a thank you on your thing. I did nothing for that first EP, but I appreciate the thanks.
I kind of like I
it
included
really
you because
made
you
Ben-
worked at the studio, and obviously at that time I didn't know the actual setup of the studio, but how
Yeah.
Ben owns it, and like kind of
they were livid,
You know.
Ben and Neil.
You just thought he lived here, probably.
Yeah.
So
I was just
I saw him poking through the bins.
He
out
must
the
have done something. He must have done something, even if it was setting up a mic.
Thanks to the
Yeah.
little bin boy.
Thanks to that little.
Little pikey bin boy.
They provided lovely lunches every day.
But
What
like,
bread.
Tea cakes and cheese.
you sat in.
Well, I just
on the
I
sessions
just kind
of
of
that first
watched,
record.
and I was like, "This is quite a good." I remember Neil turning to me and going, "This is quite a good one." Usually, bands are sort of like they're okay, all
Oh,
this
thanks,
shit. But
man.
he was like, "This is a good," just in terms of like Wild Atlantic Heart.
That was the first EP.
yeah.
Wild Atlantic Heart was the first.
I mean, no. What was the song? There was a song.
There was a song.
Yeah,
Wild
yeah,
Atlantic Heart,
that song. I remember him trying to piece that together, and he was just like, "This is a lot, but this is good." It's not like
Oh,
first chorus,
I like
first
that.
chorus, But anyway, I was like, I kind of want to drum in this band, and then I got you on a function gig, Elliot.
That was good. That was lovely.
Yeah, the first one we ever did together.
Yeah, that was
Did
one of the
Champagne
first ones.
Supernova. as
For a first dance,
Yeah.
that was one of my favourite first dances ever.
Bold
And you know
choice.
what?
It was, yeah.
You know what was really kind of heightened about it was the pyrotechnics all along one side of the dance floor, middle of a chorus, and suddenly they just exploded and
Yeah.
almost drowned out the band.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bit. It was really cool.
There was
They're
in
dry
my
ice
head.
and
There was
everything.
fireworks. Was there fireworks?
Yeah, pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
There's sparkle, like
That's what you
massive
meant.
sparklers.
Yeah, I didn't know if you just meant the smoke show, but yeah, it was.
There
Yeah,
was dry ice as well, wasn't there?
yeah. But
That's cool.
anyway, on the drive up, you were talking about your drummer, and you were like, he's a bit, and I'm like, get me in.
Yeah.
Worm my way in.
That's how he.
Yeah.
That's how he operates.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
enter and destroy from within. He
Exactly.
finds that little gap.
Yeah.
like
Oh, I drum actually.
And then you can never get rid of me
Yeah,
because
and then
there's
he's
this
there.
worry. What if he steals stuff? You know.
Next thing you know, he's
He knows-
going through your bins.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's kind of how George ended up drumming on the second kind of EP. It's a 6-track EP called Band of Outsiders.
Mm.
And that was great fun. We recorded it here. Again, you mastered it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great session. As a drummer, I remember like we pushed you. In fact, you talked about this before, didn't you?
We have, yeah.
We pushed you quite hard on one of
which-
those songs. There's a song called Lions. It's
That
the
was
opening
it, yeah,
track of that
yeah,
EP.
Yeah.
And the drums weren't really written.
No.
I think
You-
we'd done it a few times in rehearsal and maybe played it. Had we gigged that song?
No, definitely
I
not.
don't think we'd gigged that song. And in
Yeah,
session,
it drained me, but in a good way, because
That's
I was
great.
just like, I'm at my end.
Yeah,
Neil was like, one more.
that
I'm
was
like,
one of those times where I thought, I really appreciate you as a drummer.
well, thank you
Good.
very much.
Because anyone can be
And the
like, "Oh,
podcast there.
it's too much, but you just kind of stuck with it. And
Yeah.
there were so many iterations of those drum tracks for that particular song.
Yeah.
And I think they all turned out well. I don't know how it was to mix and master it, but
Neil did a lot of the
Yeah,
legwork.
yeah,
you
I just
take this one,
polished
mate.
the turd.
yeah.
Polished, savage.
Exactly.
Did you get into function work as a result of coming here then? Or?
Funnily enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Same as me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Groomed by
That's
Neil.
it. Again,
Yeah.
that's the little.
I think the
Come
thing
in,
is, you
record
guys
an EP. Want to be in a wedding band? Yeah.
put those dreams aside.
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah, the amount of dreams. Like we have a phrase: "Dreams in the bin, money in the tin," and well, we're always looking out for depths. And when people, and just by nature of this job and running this studio, we see a lot of musicians all the time,
Yeah.
and some you get on with better than others, and then
Yeah.
some you see, not only are they good, but they're like adaptable, or we think, they've got the potential to be able to learn songs quickly and fit in, and essentially not need to rehearse.
Yeah.
and just do the homework themselves and then come and fit in, which isn't an easy thing to do, and not everyone can do it.
Yeah.
And especially with Victoriana, we were on the lookout for someone to fill in on the. And that's the tricky thing with Victoriana. We don't just need a singer; we need a singer who can play acoustic guitar. And the nature of your music and the nature of Victoriana, the more country folky thing, it was like, well, we think Elliott would be a good fit.
Yeah.
He's a good lad, and we have to test the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Get you in, see how you do. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's done a great job.
Well, I'd
Oh,
sort
cheers.
of not.
and are you hungry? And do you want to do it? Do you want to come
Yeah.
and earn that money and be
Yeah.
part of it? Essentially, like a machine.
Yeah.
This
A
is
professional machine that
a
has
professional
to be
machine that
on point. And
has standards and also
Yeah.
has to run efficiently.
I will say, if you don't mind me just interjecting there, like that transition. Obviously, I still like songwrite, and like I said, I'm planning on doing. I am writing another record, but the creative, free flowing structure of original music, I find like that transition to also being able to do function stuff and be like a kind of consummate professional. That took me a little while, and for a little while, it was obviously you don't realise. Oh, I'm actually kind of quite lucky to have these, like, to be kind of given these gigs and to be earning good money from function gigs. It took me a little while to be like, oh, actually, you kind of sometimes you need to put aside the free flowing kind of nature of it. The improv nature, and still have that
In a way,
but
you
also
sort of need to remove the art.
yeah.
But I
from
think
it.
also because you were playing in my band before Victoriana. I feel like for maybe 2 years, well, at least a year before you went with them, and it was like I remember, in the kindest way. I feel like you're from that thing of when you've done covers, which is what I've seen in this new band I'm in. You do covers on your own, and you can make up the structure.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're like,
big
oh,
time.
we'll just add another chorus here or something.
Yeah.
So I remember there were certain songs that we played, and you I remember like in Valerie after the second chorus, you just sort of would
just do another one.
yeah, you would you kind of went a different
God.
way, and it was like,
Yeah.
fuck, what's he doing? Because it was like of so used to playing. I remember that being like, I'm trying not to say this in like a
No.
me
Hey, you say it.
knowing all the stuff, but it was like that was like your learning curve, I think, in function bands, because it was like, okay, I've got to learn what the song is.
Yeah.
Rather than.
And then you came and worked with me, and you're like, oh shit.
I do need to learn structure. Holy shit. This does actually
this
matter.
guy doesn't budge an inch.
You barely want to play one chorus in Valerie,
Yeah.
let alone throw in an extra one.
But that for me was like a big that kind of it didn't hit me hard. It kind of just you find out, okay, there's certain types of gigs you play, and like you said, like you need to be kind of self-motivated in just being like, I just need to know the structure. I need to know how these songs go. I need to sing them as well as I can, and I need to play them as well as I can. But also, you just need to be tight, because at the end of the day, it's like and
know what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, and you need to be able to rinse and repeat these gigs, and still enjoy them. And I personally love it. Like it's just still playing music, and I'm singing, and I still get to be like a front man of a band. But also, you need to kind of fall into place and realize that as a professional outfit, you need to just be tight, and you can let how do I put it? I wonder what I'm trying to say. Dead air. I guess it's just that idea of being like professional in time and like kind of tick the boxes.
Yeah, you've got to be part of a unit.
Yeah, exactly.
And the unit has to work together.
Yeah, and coming from like just doing original music, that transition, I definitely noticed it.
Do you find then going back to original music, having been in a function band, changes the way? I was going to ask you that, George, as well, because you approach playing in original. Obviously, they're not your original songs, so you treat it as a function almost, like as a professional musician. And like I found, all right, it's not the same because we're not like Wren is obviously on that level, but I find myself playing original gigs different to how they would be. Which is what you've learned from having to be professional.
I feel more free when I'm playing original.
Well,
gigs.
hence the old you were hitting them hard. Weren't
Yeah,
you?
is that what it was? And I think that's almost because
sound limiter in the joiners.
Yeah, I think it was almost a release of like,
keep it down, mate. It's 85 dB.
But it's like a release of
manager walking around with
we haven't even got a license. Can you keep it down?
But it's like a release of like you can finally hit it hard. You know what I mean? Like 505s is the closest function band that to being able to just rock out.
Which Josh you are, of course.
Which is the band that we play in together, Josh and I. Well, your band. I sort of worm my way into that.
He's full time now.
But
it's cheese and he's.
But I think that's it. I think it's just like with me. It's sort of. I can actually play hard on this one, so I am going to.
Yeah, I just find myself approaching original gigs. It is it's good in that you can kind of cut loose.
Yeah, definitely.
But I find the way I almost get a bit more worried about them than I used to, and less at the same time because you try and approach it in the same way you would a function gig because you want to do it professionally. You think about stuff that normally you wouldn't. Like when I was 18 and playing the wedge or whatever, and I turned up and the sound check was an hour and a half late, I wouldn't have cared because you would just gone to the pub and you'd be like, who's Lloyd? Yeah. But now I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I need at least half an hour to set my stuff up and get set up and make sure everything's in working order. And I worry about those things that when I was a kid I wouldn't, because I'm sort of using the same equipment that I would. Like I know everything does something and it works, and so I find myself approaching.
I think there's an age thing in there as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, just
like I think especially with function gigs, the goal, one of my goals is efficiency.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, how can we make this easy for ourselves and enjoyable? And the easier it is and the more straightforward it is, much to the attempts of wedding venues and venue managers and bride grooms to make your day harder than it needs to be. We've got this freshman year inquiry coming up, and there's been too many emails about the size of the stage. It's like, don't worry about it. We'll fit. We'll play in whatever. Just get us the gig. Like, I don't care if the stage is 3 meters or 4 meters. Just fucking book us a gig. We played on the floor before. Do you know what I mean? Like
unnecessary detail.
Yeah. Like, so just get us the gig and we'll work it out. And I think so. You're trying to make it efficient. You're trying to, as well, like maximize any free time you have, because we, like you mentioned earlier, like, and what we are kind of missing in these cold winter months is the social element that we're lucky to have, and we play with a lot of people we really like. So you do get to, that's your Saturday night, that's your Friday night, that's your night at the pub, is actually spending time with those friends. And, and the playing gets in the way sometimes. But there's an order of...
I've got another set.
Because if you didn't have all those things in place, like efficiency of getting there, the logistics, setting up, things like that, it would be absolute chaos. Because there's so much to do and so much that can go wrong. And so you really have to almost militarize that process so you can be just efficient, and so that your working day is easier and you feel like you're earning, you're not in a harsh way, but like the money is easier to attain.
I think you put it quite well there. Like, it's a working day.
It is a working day.
With an original gig, it's still work and it's still your profession, but it's very much a free-flowing thing. And you turn up, and if, like you said, sound check isn't as efficient as you'd like it to be, it's like, well.
You're relying on other people with that as well, aren't you?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the thing with the functions, you're fully responsible, so you take that. But then you've got a sound man or someone to deal with, and it's like all of a sudden that power's kind of taken away from you.
Yeah, perfect example of that is when we played the Boiler Room, Ben and I, and Neil was in he's in the band as well, and we had a sound person doing it,
for
and you could almost for a function gig, and you could almost feel Neil was like,
it should be me.
It should be, because
tell you what,
and just in the sense that we have to control the situation so often. The amount of times we have to speak to the bride and groom and say, we think you should do this or this, otherwise it's just not going to work, or this is what needs to happen, like for us to do our job well. And even just the fact we've now got like the Behringers with the in-ears, and we can control our own sound, and like at least we can control us. And then when you're put in a situation where you've lost that control,
it's mad.
It's really bizarre, and even just having to sort of say to the sound engineer, like to sort my in-ear levels out, and you just like,
it's that effort that you're having to put in that feels so unnecessary, and it's no overexertion of effort. But then you forget, like, this is how it used to be all the time. It's really weird. Like I remember I came and depped for George's band called Wildwood Sky. I've depped from twice. And funny enough, both gigs I've been like dying from like chest infection or a cold or something, which is very unlike me, I will just add. For anyone listening, anyway, the funny thing is, both these gigs,
a man of good stock,
the embodiment of health.
No, I'm just saying, everyone's getting more.
I think it's
a
mess in there. I think he's all exterior.
It's all for show. Anyway, right, I was at this first gig, and it was like a corporate gig at a really fancy hotel.
It was
a lot of
fancy.
nice cars parked outside.
a Bugatti.
And you park your car next to it, and you think, holy fuck, what am I doing in my life? Anyway, but you still got me to the gig,
You're
didn't it?
Wildwood Sky. Pretty
That's
good
it.
life.
Absolutely. Anyway, so turn up to this gig, and it was crazy. I was thinking, we'll have in-ears, which we did.
My God,
and I'm so used to, for example, you and Neil, like those Victoriana sound checks. I'm sure it's the same for the 505s as well.
No.
Okay. Well,
Whatever you're going to say.
okay. Well, Victoriana sound check. I mean, it's amazing because you guys have been doing it for so long. I've only recently come into it, but it's so streamlined. Everyone has their kind of own iPad, can do their own in-ears, so none of that's a problem anymore. Like, you don't have to Neil doesn't have to take time adjusting everyone's. And it's so slick and streamlined, The whole process is like a 45 minutes.
The benefit of that is sometimes the wedding's run late, you are tight for time.
Exactly.
And you could, the difference, you can get the sound check done in half an hour, or it can take an hour and a half if it's just chaos.
Well, that's
bedlam.
it. And this is the thing, like at this,
and then you get it done quicker. We can go and play Passant.
Do you know
what I mean? That's what we're all there for.
George can get in the bin, start rifling through the cheese.
I will say, like, at this gig at this hotel, it was a lovely gig. Like, god awful smoke machine blowing right into your face the whole time. I'm sure it's great atmosphere. But anyway, this sound engineer.
By the way, there was four, wasn't there? There's four guys.
Sound engineers, massive stage, and every one of them is doing something in particular, plugging in XLR cables. One of them's trying to sort out, your in-ear packs, and one of them's at the sound desk trying to get a mic working. Anyway, there's just so many people, and I just remember saying to George and I was like, you know what, Neil would have this done in half hour.
Yeah,
like it just
on his own.
And I was like, it's almost better. All these 3 guys go. Just let this guy just sort it out.
Yeah.
And we can help. But,
There was just no communication. I was like, he was like, right, we're ready to do a sound check. I'm like, my pack isn't working. He's like, all right, I'll work on that. Right, let's just give me a bit of kick. I'm like, okay. He's like, right, we're ready to go. I'm like, my pack isn't working. You fucking.
It's that combination of teamwork but self-responsibility.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone,
if everyone can just do their bit as a team, we can.
Yeah. I think they were all gormless as well. I just say, like, when I went up, I was like, hi, this isn't working. They're like, just looking around. I'm like, sorry, are you working here? Or are you?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm sure they were trying their best.
No, I don't think they were.
Oh, maybe not.
You're a very nice man, Elliott, but they were not trying their best.
But anyway,
let's not give them the benefit.
But it's just fascinating because it's quite a complicated thing, setting up an entire band, miking everything up. Everyone's got their own monitors and everything, so it is a complicated thing, but making it into a process that is just slick.
Yeah, when you
get in that zone, don't you? Like, we've played a few years now, and you when you just start to understand. Admittedly, 5 is pretty hectic normally because we haven't
do 1
modernised.
gig a year and it's chaos.
Right, how do we do this again?
Yeah. But as drummers as well, how much do you guys need to set up? You got more kit than anyone.
Yeah.
Don't give them any. Don't give them that.
Well, I feel like I milk it as well. Take the perfect amount of time to set up.
Well, I think you're such a nice guy, Elliott. And when we first started working together on the gigs, you were very keen to offer your help.
Absolutely.
With my drum kit.
Probably learnt the hard way not to do that.
You fuck off.
And I had to, politely say, well, as polite as I could be. I was like,
there's a system.
There is a system.
I help carry them out the car and stuff. That's always good. But set
your effort in lugging gear. Exactly what we need.
Oh my god!
Thanks,
he's got good stock.
2 speakers.
He's a man of good stock.
Yeah. One go.
I'll just pick a giant box of leads up one-handed and pop it on the shoulder.
Like a cart horse. Load up the saddlebags, lads.
Yeah.
And that's why you're in the band.
Muscle,
not your fucking voice. Jesus.
But I have to politely say, it's actually quicker if I do it myself.
More of a hindrance.
This certain way of doing it for efficiency.
Yeah. Let's be honest, a singer will never know the intricacies of a drummer's setup. Just as a drummer would never know the intricacies.
And like we're setting up a sound check, I have everything down to such a T that I make the most minimal moves to get that kit from box to stage.
Love that.
So I don't pack things down a certain way, because then when I set it up, it's exactly at the right height.
Yeah.
And there's a certain way it fits in the box,
I have had it once. Do you remember when we played at Hogwarts?
In Oxford.
Yeah.
That was Balliol College.
Yeah.
That was a lovely gig.
And
big old hall. Long dining tables.
Fantasy.
We did indeed play at Hogwarts. We got a little letter through the post for the gig inquiry.
From an owl.
From an owl. I wish. That would be great. Out of all gig venues, Hogwarts would be up there.
Yeah.
No one else would be up there?
Go on.
It'd be like the halls of Denethor, Lord of the Rings, Minas Tirith.
Lost me. Haven't seen that either.
Brilliant. Or imagine playing in Medusel, like where we're in Rohan.
Nope.
The Golden Hall
Stark
of Medusel.
Industries Christmas party.
That'd be fucking good. That'd be messy.
Yeah.
But
Wembley'd be pretty cool as well. Just thinking of actual venues.
You should add this as a little section of the podcast every
fictional place.
That's a good question.
Go back, actually, Harry Potter. We played the Harry Potter World Christmas party.
Shit, that's cool.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Did you have to play?
Not in. It's near Watford, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was a big. There's a big hotel nearby.
Yeah.
I mean, have it at the studio.
Well,
you could play on the little bus or something. Or
so it was there.
Are we talking
all
like
the staff's Christmas party who work at Harry Potter World?
It wasn't like Daniel Radcliffe walks through the door.
Dumbledore's there.
Hello,
Professor
Harry.
McGonagall off her tits.
Dancing on tables.
Loves a sherry.
Everyone's throwing around Professor Flitwick like in the Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, like midget dancing.
Yeah, you know what?
I haven't seen Harry Potter.
Oh shit!
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Oh, Flitwick's like a dwarf teacher, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's really small.
I have been playing the Lego Harry Potter game on PlayStation now, so I'm starting to get to know it. I once watched the bit of the first. I haven't read the books. I don't read. I'm not a nerd. But I started watching the first film and I went, I can't watch this. I'm not being funny. The child acting is awful.
It is.
So I stopped. But I'm playing the Lego game, so I'm getting
somehow
to know
less childish.
Yeah. Somehow less nerdy.
I'm in control. This is what we've learned. I need to be in control.
Such a hipster way of learning Harry Potter.
I'm learning the lore. And maybe then that will make me watch the film, because I'll learn my references.
So his Harry Potter exposure so far is played a Christmas party for the staff of Harry Potter World and also played the Lego Harry Potter.
I bet
but I'd say it's in my top 5 function gigs
Wow, how come?
in the last
Just
10
because
years.
it was...
So this was proper big stage and sound setup, sound engineer, and they were brilliant. So we just turned up with our instruments and had to play.
Yeah.
And there was 500 people there,
Wow.
all up for it.
That's awesome.
And it
Casting
was that
spells.
tiny little element
Off their
where
face or
Expelliarmus!
you
butter beer.
actually felt like a little bit of a rock star,
Oh, that's cool.
where you're just playing and it's easy and everything works and there's no stress
Everyone's dancing.
and just
love
there's
it.
just everyone's bang up for it.
Pumpkin
you know.
juice passed around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're all on broomsticks.
And an
butterbeer.
incredible buffet.
Oh, wow.
But it was just one of them gigs where you're like, oh, that was actually good.
Butterbeer,
Wow.
probably.
It was
Yeah.
easy.
Was it like the buffets that they have?
Yeah, in
on
the film.
banquets
Yeah,
in the
that's
film?
what I'm thinking.
I wouldn't know.
There's
all
always
just
chicken
appeared.
drumsticks.
Yeah, there is
I
a lot.
haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the film.
Jesus!
Yeah.
But the food always looked good in those. I think that was arguably one of the
What,
high
Harry
points.
Potter or gigs?
Oh,
Harry
arguably
Potter.
both. But in the
Yeah.
Harry Potter movies, in those first movies, the child acting wasn't as good, up to
abysmal.
scratch as the later movies. But the food on their banquets always looked bloody good.
Ron was always chowing down on 2 chicken drumsticks at one
yeah,
time.
he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Seamus
Fat cunt.
Finnegan. Seamus
Greedy
Finnegan
little
drinking
fucker.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was. He was really painted as that. I feel,
And I
I feel
turn
like
up
they
just
did
my tea cakes. Like, George, it's a banquet. You don't need to ring.
I knew
6
that.
tea cakes.
Um,
Dry. Untoasted. Mental.
but fantasy gig venues. I mean, there's a few you could pick.
Go on.
As
I'm
a
trying to
drummer,
think of
well, I've named a few of mine. What are a few of yours?
I'm trying to think. What films have I seen?
What about you'll like this one, the Office Christmas party, like Keith DJs before
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, that'd be
and
good.
you go on
Keith
after him
shows the
at
PA.
Wernham
Oh.
Hogg's Christmas do. Brent would come up and be like,
Yeah.
He'd want to sing a song, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I love
Oh,
it.
for fuck's sake.
Well, what
But-
about in cartoons? Is there any like? I'm trying to think what's in cartoons that could be.
Well, like Looney Tunes. The
Nah,
Looney Tunes.
like-
Christmas
This felt like
party.
a good feature, didn't it?
yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
If we keep it
Died of
movies,
death.
cartoon world's a bit harder to picture yourself in.
Well, I just thought cartoons can be even more fantasy, can't they? Because
That's true.
draw it. You know what I mean? If you can think it.
I don't think you can get more fantasy than the mind of J.K. Rowling
Mm.
No, that's so true.
and her
Yeah.
views.
Yeah.
So then George started playing for your
Lovely segue.
in the studio and live as well.
And live as well, indeed.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Christmas, there was one Christmas gig we did a few
The
years
worst
ago.
gig of my life.
Oh, well, hey, you weren't even playing with me, man. It wasn't too
That
bad,
made
was
it bearable.
Yeah, I won't lie. It was hard getting through that gig. I'll quickly tell you about it. It was lovely to be off the gig. Always is. Thank you for asking us. It was a Christmas charity run down in Portsmouth.
Wow. Portsmouth is being
So
kind.
it's the Santa run.
Yeah.
The Santa run.
I
gig.
wouldn't say it's in Portsmouth. You know that roundabout to get into? Is it the roundabout
It's like-
to get into Portsmouth?
Yeah.
There was a.
If anyone wants to go
It's
there.
like an industrial
Excellent.
estate.
Eastern Road.
No, it's like Lakeside. It's
Oh,
over near,
Cosham.
Yes.
Yeah, that area.
Literally around the corner from here.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Anyway, we asked
It was
to
a
play at
car
this charity
park
event.
of an industrial
Yeah.
estate.
We were asked to play at this charity event, and it was like a charity run. I will say it was bloody freezing.
It was on my birthday as well.
Oh man,
It was actually just before I saw you at the pub. Slug and Lettuce with Al. That night, you know.
25.
Yeah, big 2-5. Anyway, carry on.
That was
Yeah,
a great birthday.
it was
We
pretty
met
good.
down in Gunwharf, didn't we?
Yeah, we
That's
did.
lovely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Slug and Lettuce.
so we played this gig. They'd done the charity run. It was freezing. So it was the kind of thing was like, oh, we got bands all evening after the charity run. Well, I say all evening, all afternoon till about 5. Anyway, the charity run was like midday. So everyone finished up. And let's be honest, who wants to wait around in like some kind of cold marquee watching some bands that they probably
Well, it
don't know
wasn't
anyway.
even obvious that there were bands.
No.
I don't
Were you
think
playing as Elliott Joseph?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
It was on my name, and it was we had a great lineup and everything. There were a few bands before us. They played, obviously gone home,
Yeah,
and then we headlined this gig. And when I say headline, we were playing to
Some fat, sweaty Santas.
no, not even
a
that.
couple of members of my family,
One of them
and
being resuscitated by St John's ambulance. Wild Atlantic heart. His heart stopped working.
Yeah,
There's nothing wild about it. If anything's wild, it's a rhythmic beat.
yeah. Well, I will say George likes making this point.
He's gone.
What was the audience consisting
Another
of?
Santa
Yeah.
meets his end. Sorry, kids.
A red Christmas.
Kids crying as they wheel Santa
Ho,
out
ho,
on
fucking ho.
a
Yeah.
trolley.
yeah.
But basically, we were playing to all
More
of-
dogs than people.
They were like dogs.
There's about
Don't
5
talk about the
dogs
population of
and 4
Portsmouth
people.
like that.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Gosh,
I think
we
my
had
favourite
fun.
moment of that gig was obviously everyone had kind of gone home, and
Guess they'd finished
the
run.
people
It was
working
cold.
it as well wanted to pack down. And the funny thing is, we were still playing the last 2-3 numbers of our set. Obviously, there was no encore, but whilst we were playing, we had people taking down the marquee around us.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long are you going to be, mate?
I'm halfway through a song. I'd like to break it down right now. Before you do, can you just tell us how long you're going to be? We've got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But it
I'd like
wasn't
to
a
break
Sunday.
down this marquee.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, but still, man. That was a Christmas
ever
gig
have any-
for the ages.
Did we have any good gigs?
We had quite a few gig
No, we
gigs,
did.
man.
Yeah.
When we
We went
did,
from many to quite a few. Really quickly there.
well,
We had
so-
many. We had
thing
quite a
is,
few, couple,
thing is with
some.
a lot of
Yeah.
One good gig.
thing is with
A gig.
Good.
yeah, but original gigs, you know what they can be like. Sometimes you're playing to a full room and you think, oh fucking hell, I'm doing this. Other times you're playing to literally no one, and it's it's kind of hard to still find the fulfillment out of those gigs. But you do them because you're grafting, aren't you? I guess. Christmas gigs, you must have played many.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was like 2014 or 15. Function-wise, we did weddings 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. Of December.
That is mental.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bringing in the cash over
I mean-
Christmas. Wow.
mental enough to just do that
Get
many,
married between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
to just have gigs in December, because that feels like a long forgotten thing. Obviously with COVID, and now no one's bothering. I ain't got any. Absolutely barren, mate.
Barren
Absolutely
wasteland.
barren. So I can't buy the Hulkbuster. Got my money. But to then just the luck that 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Um,
And in those that kind of interim period between Christmas
yeah, the
and New Year's.
perineum, the gooch,
The Christmas gooch.
the Christmas gooch. Yeah, I don't mind them. I get to if it's certain bands, I get to play All I Want for Christmas Is You. Mariah Carey. That's my favourite Christmas song to play.
Is it good fun, the drums?
Yeah,
Is it?
it's kind of just a cool like.
Did
sort
you
of
play it like the
swing
kid
rock.
from Love Actually?
Massive sticks.
Yeah.
I end
Just
up
what it's
singing
worth
the
it
whole
for that
time.
clip. You should analyse that from a drumming perspective.
Yeah.
He always plays it very
Well, let's move on to Christmas then.
I was about to say, do you even like Christmas?
I like Christmas. I've had to like force myself to give myself a bit of time off.
If I didn't know, I would think you hated it. I don't know why. You just started something like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I've not been one. My family's quite small, and we've
What,
never
in
been.
height?
Yeah, they're just always short. Family
really
values.
fun.
I'm
You
6'1",
stand out
and out of my
quite a
dad and
lot.
my brother, I'm the shortest.
Oh.
It's like us at George's last gig.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I'm quite short in this room.
Are you?
We've always
The
been
only one under 6.
quite an
but-
independent family. Parents have always said, "Oh, we might go away for Christmas. Sort yourselves out."
You're not getting anything this year.
Yeah, or just like if you want to go
I'm
away
8.
or do whatever. We've never been one to be like, let's get all the family and do this
Yeah.
John Lewis style advert. We're just like, oh, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like the time off.
Yeah.
I like that it gives you a little break and gives you sort of something. Even now, I'm like, okay, what have I work-wise got to do before I can? So it's a nice little
Yeah.
reset.
And there's a shut-off period, isn't it?
Yeah, a little
It's
like,
nice to look forward to.
get shit done, have the break,
Yeah.
then you can sort of start fresh. But
Here's a little throwback for you guys. Also opening that box of cheese and blankets.
yeah, well, we recently discussed that they're no longer available.
Yeah. Cheese
and
M&S
blankets.
Have you
Yeah.
not listened to the latest episode earlier?
I haven't. No, I haven't listened to it.
It's a whole bit on cheese and blankets.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it after this.
So
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I'm just going to try and recreate them again.
man.
But yeah,
That's a good...
Marks and Spencer's, I'm calling you out. Fucking make them again.
Jesus.
Yeah?
Leave the pigs out of it, man.
Yeah.
Just, well, the bacon, we'll keep the bacon.
Yeah.
But, just half the amount of pork. Base product. But they're so good. That's the highlight of my Christmas.
Give cows a chance.
Yeah.
This Christmas.
They're milky nectar.
This Christmas. Give a cow a chance.
But is there
That's a good
anything,
voiceover?
Christmas-wise you're looking forward to yourselves, lads?
Me and George got a Christmas gig
Yeah,
Friday.
we got a Christmas gig.
Is it a corporate party?
Yeah, some company. I've never
Are
heard
we?
of.
What songs are we playing? Can I get a set?
You'll get it on the day,
Yeah, I
and you'll be
usually do,
grateful for
yeah.
it.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it, have we?
No,
It's been a while.
no.
Been a
Sam
while.
still up for it.
Is he do you know there's a gig? Is it just you and George turning up?
Well, no, we're turning up at
Yeah, he's
5.
got work.
He's getting there about 7 or something.
Yeah, got to start at 7:30.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I'll
So-
be there for 7.
That's not going to be a stressful day.
Ah, yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Christmas requests though. You played some songs.
Oh, we haven't had any. But
No, we got
Yeah,
to
do
at
it,
least
chuck
Slade,
well, we
don't
did some last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a bust out Slade, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Slade, yeah.
And maybe a bit of Shakin' Stevens.
Oh, nice.
Elliot, anything for Christmas? Not even music related, just what Christmas? What's your,
Well, music
favourite,
related.
what's your favourite bit of Christmas dinner?
I mean, for me, I won't lie. I love a sausage meat and chestnut stuffing.
course he does.
Very nice.
It's a man of good stock.
high protein and flavoursome. Really good. I do like a sausage meat stuffing. Oh, don't
Yeah.
be all.
I like sprouts.
And what about the food?
Okay.
It all depends on how the sprouts are done. May I
Well,
just interject?
I don't mind a boiled sprout, classic.
Oh, really?
But they are that plays havoc with your guts. Doesn't
I
it?
read somewhere recently that, and this might be horseshit, that they actually genetically modified sprouts to make them taste better.
Yeah, it's probably true.
And that's why people now eat them.
What did
Essentially
you
an
know?
underdeveloped cabbage, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I do like them. Talking of chestnuts, fried up with a bit of chestnut.
Oh yeah, I think it's the
I like
char.
sprouts, yeah.
The char on sprouts.
And
sounds good.
they're divisive vegetable, aren't they?
I'll
They
definitely
are,
have
yeah.
sprouts now.
Yeah,
for Christmas,
always
yeah.
divides the room a little bit too sometimes.
Well, I remember when I was maybe about 13, and my friend was at ours for Christmas Day. I can't remember why. I think it's like parents were away or something. Just left him. He was 13 as well. So yeah, Christmas Day at ours. It was Harry Potter, yeah.
Yeah.
And I ate about
lived under
16
his
sprouts.
16 sprouts.
Yeah. I was quite glutty as a child. I could eat and it not go anywhere.
Made you into the man you are today.
And ate about 16.
Rotund.
And I farted with such
Enthusiasm.
power and timber that I made my mum throw up.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Tell us.
she vomited.
Christ.
Yeah,
Wait,
from
what?
the smell of the sprout fart.
Oh, what, at
mate.
the table or what?
No, it was after dinner. It doesn't.
No,
go,
I
go
mean,
through
no, I
immediately.
mean, no,
I'm not,
but
I'm not
I mean,
a
like-
heathen.
Yeah.
But I mean, did she leave the room at least? And
No, I think she went off, and I heard she's got quite a sense. Oh, I'm not going to say that my mum. I am going to say it.
Yeah, go
Oh
on.
god.
I was just about to
Gag
say my
reflex.
mum's got a sensitive gag reflex,
yeah,
but I don't know
No, you
the
have
context
said that
around
now.
that. Sorry, mum. It's
Yeah.
about if someone to retch, that would get my mum.
Yeah.
But this fart must have been that bad that.
That's
So yeah,
impressive.
Yeah.
particular low point for that was probably.
I'd say a high point.
Yeah.
It's
I
quite an achievement. Yeah.
Yeah.
You peaks.
Yeah.
I remember I was building the Lego camper van,
Okay, yeah.
very
the
nice.
red, the T1,
Yeah,
yeah.
Very nice.
And yeah.
The only eventful Christmas thing, and we bring it up every year, was that we opened the cranberry sauce and there was an Allen key in it. Just a fucking Allen key.
I
in
knew
it.
I'd put that somewhere.
It was brand new. It was like brand. You got the air fresh pop
Wow.
that they implemented
Yeah.
in mid noughties.
Mm.
Seems about
So
right.
random.
2000. Seems like a 2005.
That's the
thing.
sound of Christmas.
See, it sounds, when indie was king,
yeah,
that
yeah.
they implemented the
Arctic
fresh
Monkeys are here,
Yeah.
and so is the air fresh pop.
pop, depressed to check,
Yeah.
and just open it up. Oh, it's the Allen
Well,
key.
so someone dropped it in the factory, I guess. so,
Yeah,
Do you remember what size it was? Was it put to good use?
Probably like a 4 mil or something. But
Oh, nice.
That reminds me, I've had a recent run of a sort of particular difficulty with a specific jar, and it's the Blue Dragon Thai red curry paste,
Oh,
Okay.
air fresh pop. The last 2 jars of it I've had to make a curry with, both me and Els, we cannot open it. It's impossible.
Wow.
So what I've had to do is, and I've developed a method, and it's happened with 2 tins. So it must be if there's anyone out there, please email into the. I'd love to know if anyone can open one of these jars successfully.
drummandrummapod@gmail.com.
Discovered if you stab the air fresh pop, obviously release all the pressure, comes straight off.
Ah.
But what it does mean is I then have to use the whole jar because it's no longer.
I do love a
Salmon
Thai
Can I
curry.
say
though. Oh,
2
nice.
things about that were amazing? Firstly, the fact that cranberry sauce jar with an Allen key in made you go, I've got a story. I've got an anecdote for that. And then you said,
If you're
I've had
talking jars.
yeah.
Oh, I got
And then
one for you,
said,
lad.
I've had a recent run.
Well, it's been twice in the last couple of weeks. I love a Thai
That
curry.
constitutes
Don't
as
we
a
all?
one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, I think we've got a new podcast challenge.
Yeah. I'll bring one. I'll tell you what. I'll send you both a jar for Christmas,
Please.
and then you
Oh.
can film yourselves trying to undo it.
Yeah,
It's going to be the red or green paste.
Is it?
It's Thai red.
Speak-
Is it
Speaking
the
of-
size?
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
250 grams.
No,
possibly?
I mean, like, is it the size of the lid?
Because
sometimes if
it's a smaller jar.
Oh.
But it's enough to get a full grip on.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
What about the jar? No, it don't work.
Maybe I should ask for Christmas is one of those, which you don't see anymore, those sort of weird jar openers.
You have them? That's
We
the
had
thing?
this like
I thought it was just a strong
this
man called
rubbery
Dave.
Plastic
Yeah,
mat
sort of
thing
grip.
that you can just grip on.
Yeah.
You know,
I need
very
one of them.
80s.
Because at the moment I'm having to stab the air press.
No one wants stuff to stab then.
No.
Thai curry
Speaking of
paste.
gifts, actually, George, it was your birthday recently.
It was, yeah.
Oh.
I've ordered you something for your birthday. Was meaning to give
The
it to
bloody
you
thing didn't arrive.
here, and it hasn't arrived.
Ah,
I
that's a
did
shame.
tick the lowest cost postage.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Was it every?
Next year, probably was every.
I think it was Raw Mail, and they've
Awful.
stroked. They're on strike, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're on stroke.
They've stroked. And
Don't
then
go down.
I thought, what would be a lovely thing to snack on post podcast or present to the group would be some Co-op Chardonnay,
Oh.
salt and vinegar crisp.
What a crisp.
What a crisp! So after I defrosted my car this morning because it was frozen
Yeah.
inside and out, it was the inside of the windscreen was
Yeah,
frozen.
yeah.
I
Wow.
pulled into the car. I went in, sold out.
Ah,
No.
I was
Sold
I was
out.
salivating. I was like, where are
Oh,
they?
man.
I was literally looking around the room, going, where has he got these
Give
crisps?
them to me.
It's sold out.
They are. And I know you've talked about this
Yeah.
before, but
An
they're
anomaly.
worth re-mentioning. 'Cause
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the
fucking
only thing
hell.
they do.
An anomaly in the
Spice
crisp
up your
world.
Christmas day. Give
What do
your
they
Christmas
do
day a little bit of
to
zing.
your face. It's just like,
I just think the Simpsons where Homer eats the super sour gummy bear. His face is imploded.
it's the
on
sort of
itself.
eye twitch you get when you
Yeah, it's
have,
like,
and you get to
sharp,
the bottom
isn't
of the bag, the dust.
At the end of the day, that's what we're all looking for with salt and vinegar, isn't it?
Numbness.
That's why you go for
I
salt
think
and
that's
vinegar.
what we all need for Christmas and what we all need as a nation
Sea salt
and as a
Chardonnay.
world.
A bit of a wake-up call via
And I
salt
think
and vinegar
that's
crisps.
perfect time to end.
Yeah,
Mm. Oh, do we have to end?
we
We
got
do
to
have to end.
the
Yeah.
Why
band
don't we make
in
this
it
a
too.
two-parter?
We
Probably
can have it
already
in
is
four.
long enough for a two-parter, to be fair.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, a band have booked in 2 till
Oh, man.
4.
Selfish.
I bet they'll be late as well. I
Oh,
bet
dare
they'll be
they?
like,
I think
wrap
they've
it
just
up.
tried to phone me, so
Oh,
they
okay.
might be outside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, alas. Well, they
Thanks
can
for-
wait a little longer, can't
Thanks
they?
for having me.
Thanks for coming
Thanks for
down.
coming
Mate,
on,
thanks for
yeah.
having me. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Big time.
It's actually like so lovely to be here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thanks for coming on. Yeah, you know,
It's probably about
Man.
8
Again.
minutes worth of
coming on
stuff.
again,
you know?
Josh. You know,
Man, love to. And,
couldn't get any drummers.
Yeah.
No,
They were
I've said
busy.
it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You do not have a deep bench. You're dragging in us reprobates.
Yeah, the fact you've been on
Long-haired
twice.
fools.
I've made it on twice. I can barely play bass. Not bald.
Yeah,
No drums.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, love being here.
But,
And,
but a man of good stock.
man,
And that's what we're after.
high
Yeah.
caliber.
And
Merry
caliber.
Christmas,
Yeah.
everybody.
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Indeed, and a happy
everyone.
new year.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.
Lamborghini,
Master Wayne.
much more subtle. I've buried enough whites.
I will not bury another
With a
one.
ru-
I went into a forest.
I will not bury another Batman.
fist.
We burn the forest down.
Lamborghini.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Let's not stand on the ceremony, Master Wayne.